Hi, I'm Luke McIntosh, creator of BecomeABassist.com, and welcome to video 2 of Bass Chord Pro. In this video, we're going to take the chord we learned in the last lesson and make what's called inversions. There are 2 of them. They sound super cool and they're super easy, so let's get right down to it. Now, the word inversion is just a fancy way of saying putting the notes in a different order. So we had our G major chord, and we put our G on the bottom right here. So if we're going to make an inversion, all we're going to do is put either the D or the B on the bottom. So instead of having the G on the bottom, we'll have either the B or the D. We're using the exact same notes. Nothing's changed about the notes we're using. We're just putting them in a different order. Now let me show you how to do that. So we have our G major shape right here. We've got our G on the bottom, and then we've got the B up here, and then the D. So now we want to put a different note on the bottom. So let's put the B on the bottom. Now we could just go low B, open D, and open G. But remember what I said in the last video about notes being too close together when you're down low? That still applies. That same rule still applies. So what we're going to do instead is move our whole hand up. So we're going to take this and just move the whole thing up. So we're going to be playing our B on our E string, our 7th fret, and play that with your 3rd finger right there. Now instead of playing the D right above it, this one, because that could be a little bit low, we're going to skip that D and go up to the G right here. Much more widely spaced interval, a lot less muddiness, a lot more clarity, exactly what we're looking for. And that D that we skipped right there, we're just going to put that one up the octave, right there. The 7th fret of our G string. So we have this. Really widely spaced, very little muddiness. You can take that all over the bass and it's still going to sound good because of the wide spacing. Beautiful, listen to that. This is what's called our first inversion shape. This one right here. Sounds really cool. And it's called the first inversion because we have our G major chord, and the first note after G in the chord is B, and when that's on the bottom, it's known as first inversion. So this is our first inversion chord, also known as G over B. So a G major chord over a B note. So we've played a G major chord with a G on the bottom, we've played a G major chord with a B on the bottom, and there's only one note left in our G major chord that we haven't put on the bottom, and that's our D. So we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to move our whole hand up and learn a brand new shape. Really easy, super simple. So D on our E string, oh pardon me, D on our E string, 10th fret, nothing to it. Now we could potentially play this G right here, also on the 10th fret of our A string, but that interval can get a little bit muddy. So we're going to skip that G for the moment and go straight to our B. And our B is going to be the 9th fret on our D string. And then on the G, we're going to play an octave G, so the 12th fret on our G string. Beautiful. And you notice a little bit of a pattern here. When we were down here, we played our low note, skipped a string, and then 2 next to each other, and we did the same thing up here. Skipping the A string both times. So we have B on the E string, so G on the D string, and then D on the G string. And then down here we have D on the E string, B on the D string, and G on the G string. So both those inversions we're skipping that A string. This is our default 2nd inversion chord. Right here we've got the D and the B and the G. Now you can see how these are all the same chord, the exact same notes, we're just putting them in a different order. Same notes as this, same notes as this. They're all related, it's all the same notes, just putting a different note on the bottom. And then we're kind of messing with the voicings to make them sound as good as they can. But now here's an exercise I want to show you that'll help you see the relationship between all 3 of them and hopefully make it part of your second nature. Now it's really simple, you just play all of the G major chords and the different inversions that we've learned in this lesson right after one another. So we start with our G major chord, one we know pretty well, pretty simple, and then we move to our first inversion, and then we move to our second inversion. And try and get the transitions to be as smooth as possible. So kind of see the relationship between the three different chords and how they're the same notes, just in different orders. And then when you're comfortable with that, start on A flat. Then A natural. I think you see where I'm going with this, and then eventually you'll know all the chord shapes in all the different places on the entirety of your bass. Now after a while this will become second nature, but I have made it easy for you. I've made another PDF download for you that has all of these chords in all the different shapes all over your bass. So just click the link underneath this video and save that to your computer right now. So to review, we take our regular G major chord, put our B on the bottom, and then skip the D, go to the G, and then put the D on top. It's our first inversion shape. And then we go up again, put the D on the bottom, skip the G, put the B on the D string, and G on the G string. We have our three shapes. Super simple, nothing to it. In the next video, we're going to be talking about minor chords and their inversions. So I'm looking forward to that. Thanks for watching. My name's Luke McIntosh. I'll see you in the next video of Bass Chord Pro.